Okay, so this is gonna be a One Piece talk, and it's gonna be my speculation how Chopper will defeat Queen. And obviously, you will probably think when you hear this is that Chopper. Uh, okay, so here is the thing: is that when you fight against somebody like Queen, for example, um, you don't have to be like Zoro or Sanji in their strength and this kind of thing, because Queen is a totally different opponent. Because Queen's ability is much more like chemical weapons. Obviously, Queen uses also raw strength because it can transform to a Brachiosaurus, and probably Queen is also a cyborg. So the thing is that the perfect person to fight against Queen is Chopper, because Chopper knows how to deal with Queen's Ice Demon and his chemical and kind of virus weapons, because he have the antidote against this kind of thing. So he's a very good person against this combination. So he's really good. He can really everything that Queen can do, Chopper can take. And so Chopper has lots of abilities, and I think, and also other thing that is where the weakness for Queen is that Queen looks down on everybody that is lower in rank than him. So most of Queen's allies is now on Chopper's side, on the Straw Hat Pirate side, against Queen. So that is a very bad thing to have, a thing that makes it so that your team turn on you is not a good thing. So that's probably also one big thing that's going to make so Queen's downfall is because of Chopper's ability to counter his poison weapons, and how Queen is very arrogant. And the other thing I also think is that when it also be very interesting is when. Also, could be cool to see when Chopper transform. Probably Chopper gonna use a new kind of a rumble ball to give him some special strength that we have not yet seen yet. That when he fights against Queen, or something very new rumble ball. I don't know how that's gonna look like, but just some kind of new rumble ball. And it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be very cool to see when Chopper defeat Queen. And I think it's going to be a very different way how Chopper defeats Queen, not as probably what many people maybe think, how Chopper going to take down Queen. I don't think that Chopper going to use some kind of raw strength to take him down. I think it's much more like some kind of tactical way to take down Queen. I do not know, because this video is just my speculation for how Chopper will defeat Queen, so I cannot say what it's gonna be or not, because it's just speculation. So I think it's some kind of rumble ball that will in some way end the fight, but not the whole way. I think the end of the fight, like almost like Monkey D. Luffy when he fight against Katakuri, I think it's gonna be more in some way, but still not like that. Some way like that, in that Chopper will use something to take down Queen, but probably before that he's gonna use lots of maybe help of some of the others, not the Straw Hat, but some of the smaller characters like the allies of his to help in some way to trick Queen to do something, and from there he's gonna use the rumble ball, and then he's gonna take down Queen in some specific way. And the specific way I think it's something with, because Queen use chemical weapons and he uses Brachiosaurus form, so it's something against these two things, and probably makes it so that Queen gonna use something with that helps Chopper against these kind of things, and from there Chopper will maybe use raw strength and this kind of thing. So it's really hard to say exactly, but it's the only thing I can say is that I think it's something with a new special rumble ball that we have not yet seen before. That is something that will end the fight, but not from the end of the fight. Then he's gonna use it, and this is something that really gonna be only very rare to see. Probably gonna see just once, and that is against queen, and that is something that is very, you know when you see a fight against somebody that is super much stronger than another, but they use something specific, especially under that fight, and then they win because of this kind of thing, because of that special thing that is super super rare to see, and the specific thing, and this kind of thing. So it really builds up a very much a combination with raw strength, intelligence and tactics and planning. I think all these kind of 4 things together will help Chopper to take down queen. I don't know how, it's just these kind of things. The only thing I can say, I think, is a rumble ball and some other kind of tactics, and obviously help some allies, because Marco have to have king away from that battlefield, because Chopper cannot handle king and queen at the same time. So king probably gonna fight with Marco, and Chopper fight against queen, and obviously, and so this gonna be, I really look forward to see and all of this kind of thing, into how, because if Chopper defeats queen, that means that Chopper will be the first member of the Straw Hat Pirate that is not the captain, that take down somebody that is much more stronger than him and are a much higher rank. So it's a very, then more people gonna, when if that happen in the way, more people are gonna see Chopper as much stronger, because he takes down somebody that's much stronger than Chopper. So they really give something more, I think, more respect to Chopper, but not with just the raw strength. It's much more with tactics and abilities. Is obviously every character is always it's different how they fight. It's always different. It's extremely different how Chopper will fight against somebody. That when Zoro fights against somebody, it's not mean that Zoro is better Zoro is maybe better in the way when his style of fighting, while Chopper is maybe better in his field of fighting and tactics and abilities and all this kind of thing. And obviously, because I said before, is that Chopper is the perfect fit against Queen, because Queen's chemical weapons, ice, demons, and virus, and obviously Chopper is the doctor, so it's a perfect counter against each other, almost like a water and fire in some ways, and against each other. Yeah, it's just gonna be very cool to see that fight. If that fight gonna ever happen, it's gonna be very, very cool to see how that will happen. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe Chopper will not take down Queen, but I think Chopper will take down Queen, and it's gonna be very cool, because it's like most of the time when we see a fight, we see a fight with, for example, much more like you see the fight, for example, Zoro or Sanji or Monkey D. Luffy. You don't see so much the fight of other character, for example, Chopper or Nico Robin or Nami, or these characters. So it's much more interesting when we see some characters that's not as common to see in a fight. Take down somebody that's much stronger. And it was a very long time ago we see any fight with Chopper. So that fight I really look forward to. Look forward to see that fight. And and we just have to wait to see what will happen and this kind of thing. So, and obviously, and their ability and this kind of thing, and we really have. So it's gonna be very cool, and obviously then Chopper gonna go up in rank, because when he takes down Queen, so it's probably something very, very interesting to see when Chopper takes down Queen. Obviously I cannot say how, because obviously because I don't know, but it's more like I think something with a rumble ball, something with a specific way, and queen probably gonna do something very stupid, because if queen thinks that shopper is very weak, then queen gonna ignore every caution, like when he fight against shopper, and then shopper gonna use that to his benefit, and that probably that way will he take down queen, because queen is very arrogant, and that is a big weakness to have, to be arrogant against somebody to fight, even if that person looks like they have not as good abilities that you have, or weapons and all this kind of thing. If you do something a little step too wrong, then if a person is smart, they can use that thing to their advantage against that person. And probably this is the way, a part of the way how shopper take down queen, because of specifically because of queen's arrogance. And we see in some way that person like Marco, that is a right hand man of Whitebeard, really almost like play with queen and king when he fight against these two characters. And remember, these two right and left hand against one right hand of other emperor. Obviously you cannot say what is stronger, but it was not as like Marco really have to concentrate when he fight against this person. Obviously he was like, his ability is super good because of Marco's like ability like to be a blue phoenix and a super good devil fruit and all this kind of thing. But it's like really like if specific. I think why queen is so arrogant is because queen never ever fight somebody that can counter his chemical weapons, and I think queen always relied on this, on his raw strength, because when he transformed to a big brachiosaurus, he can just stample down on their enemy and use his ice demon, all this kind of thing. And I think now when queen fights shopper, that now first time ever he fights somebody that really can counter his abilities, his chemical weapons, and same time can probably the same also counter his brachiosaurus. That makes it so that it's extremely hard for queen, I think, because queen have never dealt with that before. And this is what I mean. There is a reason why queen is used to fight somebody like the samurais that use swords and bows and musket. He's not used to fight somebody that have the same knowledge against the thing he used as his weapon. It's almost like you have somebody that in the whole life use arrows, and they train with the arrows, and then they meet somebody with a super armor, and the arrow cannot penetrate that armor, and how much they really want, they never can penetrate the armor with their arrow. And that is similar, I think, in some ways to queens and shoppers fight. That queen really meets somebody that is really first time. So it's gonna be very. I think it's gonna be a hard fight for, obviously a hard fight for shopper, and obviously a hard fight for queen. But shopper is the person that have the knowledge and the tactic to take down queen. But it's not gonna. It's obviously not gonna be an easy battle. Is gonna be lots of tactics and just of intelligence, and really lots of planning, all this kind of thing, to really build that fight up with shopper and queen. So yeah, and maybe some ways queen maybe will defeat himself in some way of the word. And this kind of thing. Yeah, and that is really everything I really want to say about my speculation for queen and shoppers battle. And yeah, and obviously why I don't say that I think Sanji will fight against queen is because Sanji probably gonna fight against Sparrow, because yeah, Sanji always help women, because Sparrow defeat Carrot, so probably Sanji will fight, and King will fight Marco, And then Zoro, the Zoro have is obviously, they represent who some new character come, but Zoro have obviously Yamato Orochi. But the person I really think will take down Yamato Orochi is Momonosuke and that little girl that can give candies to Thing and to take control over them. And that is just my speculation what will happen. And obviously, lots of interesting things we're still waiting for. Obviously, my speculation for Yamato's Devil Fruit form, a female only, and this kind of thing. So yeah, I look forward to more. Look forward to see what happens in One Piece, and yeah. Okay, bye.